Lord, this woman cannot win. And not even because she's a radical leftist mutant who wants to burn down police stations and kill babies, but also she's just not even a good liar. And that's the part that offends me the most. Okay, Aftyn Behn is the name of a human, apparently. Actually, it's a woman who's running as the Democrat nominee in Tennessee's 7th district, congressional district special election, which is, that's Nashville. Okay, Nashville is the 7th district. Nobody ever heard of this person until a few days ago when she started going viral for all the wrong reasons in the lead up to the election. And before we get to the viral stuff, here's a report from the Daily Wire, which just gives you an idea of what kind of person this is. Aftyn Behn, the Democratic nominee running in Tennessee's 7th congressional district special election, repeatedly said in recent years that she would be willing to get arrested for abortion advocacy. Behn, a state representative seeking to replace Representative Mark Green, who resigned from office earlier this year, is running against Republican Matt Van Epps, who's been endorsed by President Donald Trump. She said in a May 22nd conversation with the Tennessee Holler, "What is the positive if there's a silver lining? What this does not mean for Tennessee is that groups on the ground will continue to provide training in terms of self-managed abortions. And so instead of going to a doctor, because we won't have any doctors that provide abortions, how do you do it at home? We'll continue to figure out how to get abortion pills to people so the organizing does not stop just because Roe is overturned. I think most importantly, we'll see the increased criminalization of people seeking abortions and those assisting them. So I anticipate lots of bail funds for women seeking abortions, getting caught getting abortions, women like myself that plan to travel with women getting arrested, and we'll also see increased surveillance, policing, and fear." So she's a pro-abortion extremist, willing to get herself arrested for the sake of helping women kill their children. But really, it has nothing to do with other women. You know, this is not some kind of perverse generosity on her part. This is, you know, the only reason she feels so strongly about the issue is that she wants to protect her own right to kill her own children, which I assume she's probably already done. You know, a woman like this almost certainly has multiple abortions under her belt. I don't know that for a fact, just my own theory. I'm just theorizing. So she's a vile creature who loves baby murder. We know that. She's also, of course, a big fan of BLM and violent crime and lawlessness. So if you live in Nashville and you're deciding who to vote for, I mean, if you like crime, if crime is your thing, if you're really into crime and you like for your community to be less safe and you want to be more worried about, you know, your kids and their safety, then she's the person for you because she's a big fan of crime and doesn't like enforcing the law. But here she is on MSNBC over the weekend. MSNBC, of all places, calls her out on this. So I don't know what's going on over there, but listen to this.
Representative, in 2020, you made some tweets that have since been deleted that were very critical of police. You said in those since deleted tweets that the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department should be dissolved. Another cheered on a teachers union saying that defund the police should be a requirement for schools reopening. And another saying good morning, especially to the 54% of Americans that believe burning down a police station is justified. 2020 was obviously a very fraught year. Do you still stand by those comments? And if not, is there anything you want to clarify?
I'm not going to engage in cable news talking points, but what I will say is that, our communities need solutions. We need local people deciding, solving local problems with local solutions. And that's not the overreach of a federal government or state government of which we are dealing with in Nashville and our cities across the state of Tennessee.
So you don't want to clarify whether you still believe that the police should be defunded?
Once again, I don't remember these tweets, but what I'm saying is that
I'm not asking you if you remember. What is your position today? How's that on this issue?
I mean, I'm here to talk about my race, which is in literally 9 days.
Lord, this woman cannot win. She better not win. And not even because she's a radical leftist mutant who wants to burn down police stations and kill babies and then lies about it when she's called out. I mean, that's the main reason she should not win. But also, she's just not even a good liar. And that's the part that offends me the most. Like, it's one thing to be a soulless con artist, which this woman is. It's another to be so clumsy and unconvincing about it. Just kind of insults your intelligence. And despite her extremely lazy, kind of low energy effort to deflect, she says, oh, I'm not going to get into cable news talking points. Well, it's not a cable news talking point. It's what you said. These are your talking points. But yes, it's true that she has publicly called for the defunding of police. She has endorsed burning down police stations, which, by the way, is a stance that should legally bar her from running for office anyway. Okay, call me crazy, but you should not be allowed to run for office if you have publicly endorsed mob violence against law enforcement officers. Call me crazy, but that's just me. I think there are some things you could say that should disqualify you from being allowed to run for office. And you know, we could debate what those things would be, but this is calling for police stations to be burned down by angry mobs is the kind of thing where, that you should not be allowed to run for office. Now, of course, on the flip side, you could say, well, if a community is going to elect somebody like that after they've said that, then you kind of get what's coming to you at that point. So, which is also true. Now, the other thing about Aftyn is that, and this is not really a surprise based on what we've already seen about her, but she really hates the place that she is running to represent. She's on the record on multiple occasions, actually, talking about how much she hates Tennessee and Nashville in particular. So this video went viral a few days ago. It's actually an audio recording. Here it is. Listen.
I've been heavily involved with the Nashville mayoral race because I hate the city. I hate the bachelorettes. I hate the pedal taverns. I hate country music. I hate all of the things that make Nashville apparently an it city to the rest of the country, but I hate it. Yeah, I'm that girl at the airport that all these bachelorettes are giddy walking out in their two-toned colored Pantone pink shirts, and they walk out and they're like, oh my God, Nashville is so bad.
They're so loud.
Now, I will admit that she's not totally wrong about, I agree with her about the pedal taverns and about the bachelorettes. And if you're not familiar with pedal taverns, by the way, if you're blessed to live in an area where these things don't exist, I'll tell you what they are. Well, they're exactly what they sound like. But pedal taverns are these giant multi-seat bicycles, basically, where tourists can sit and drink overpriced beer while they pedal around the city. So if you drive through Nashville, you're going to find yourself, if you have to go through Nashville as part of your commute, it's going to take longer than it should because you'll be stuck behind a group of 10 drunk people on a giant bicycle pedaling on the street. Now, why do these things exist? Why would anyone do this? I have no idea. I have no clue. I have never found myself drinking a beer and thought to myself, you know what? This would be so much better if I was outside in traffic, breathing exhaust fumes and exercising. I don't know why you would want to combine those four things in particular with a leisure activity. I have no idea. But a lot of people do. And so if you drive through Nashville in the summer, especially, then like 68% of the traffic is comprised of pedal taverns. And that's a real number I just made up. But that's what it feels like anyway. It feels like 68 to 70% of the traffic is nothing but pedal taverns. So people commute. People commute with pedal taverns now. You got like businessmen in suits taking a pedal tavern to the office. That's how bad it's gotten. But that does not vindicate Aftyn, okay? Because if she had said, hey, Nashville is not as enjoyable of a place as it should be because of all these damn pedal taverns all over the street. I want to run and I want to pass legislation to ban them. I'd have no issue with that. Still couldn't vote for her because of all the baby murder, but at least that part of her platform I would agree with. But she's not doing that because she's a compulsive liar and she's a bad one, as we've seen. So here's how she tried to address this controversy. Again, from her own words, this is what she said. And here she is addressing it. Listen.
State Representative Afton Bane here, the Democratic nominee for the 7th Congressional Special Election in Tennessee. For those of you just joining in, I often record segments in my Jeep Wrangler called Wranglin' Time. Yes, there is a theme song, and no, I will not be singing it today. But yes, I will bring it back because I know a lot of you miss it, and you've said I sing well. So I look a little rough. I have bags under my eyes because the Republican eye of Sauron has finally shifted towards moi. And I'm sure you've seen the commercials. I'm sure you've seen the onslaught of ads. And then today, the Republicans decided that they're going to start this narrative that me, the state representative who represents downtown Nashville, doesn't like the city. Now, I always want Nashville to be better, right? I want Nashville to be a place where working people can thrive, right? But sure, I get mad at the Bachelorette sometimes. I get mad at the pedal taverns, right? And you're talking to someone who has cried no less than 10 times in the Country Music Hall of Fame. The girl that just goes to the Ryman to hang out. No, we're not even going to go there. We are so close to winning this race, which is why these rumors are getting more wild.
Wait a second, rumors? But you said it. We just heard you say it. So Afton says on tape, I hate Nashville. Her words, like verbatim. And then she's called out and she says, what? You think I hate Nashville? Are you crazy? I hate Nashville. Wait, it sounds like you just said you hate Nashville. What? You think I hate Nashville? Who told you that? You did? Just now? You just said it? We just heard you say it? But again, if you line up and vote for someone like this, I mean, it's like the least appealing person, nothing about her. I mean, from the most, at the most shallow level all the way to the stuff that really matters, like everything from her name to just her demeanor, her tone of voice, none of that is appealing. All of that is grating. And then, of course, also she's just a horrible person and her policies are horrific and she's a liar and a scumbag. So you line up and vote for somebody like that, then again, you get, and you destroy your community, well, you get what's coming to you at that point. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.